And what is up, everyone? It is me, hand from, well, Pat, we'll go with, because I don't have my call sign anymore down there. With Brandon. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much. You know, ready to play some sweet modern action.
I know, we're changing it up. With standard basically be cycling out.
And it's terrible.
Next month. Well, it's not terrible. It's not.
It's pretty bad.
But it's cycling out.
Yeah.
And, well, we thought we'd get some modern practice in because PTQ season is upon us, and it is modern.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet. Have you played in any PTQs yet?
There's been none in my area. Near me, so, no.
I have precisely one that is within a reasonable driving distance, so that's the one I'm going to.
Yeah, no, got nothing. So, basically, I did this one kind of like budget versus non-budget, I guess you can call it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Elves is that budget. I guess I don't know the list at all, so.
Oh, mine's ungodly budget.
It's pretty budget? Alright, maybe. Also, we're missing a card in my deck. I don't know. I'm just going to play the 4th Erotic main and then go, like... Or no, I'll play the 4th Thoughtseize main and then just have a 14-card sideboard.
Oh, that must be nice. What are we missing?
I don't know. I can't find it. I must have gave you an incomplete list.
You did.
Oh, you know what? I have more Golgari Charms. I'll put one on my sideboard. I don't know if I built it in here anyway, so whatevs.
Whatever. All right.
Yeah.
So, yes, as you guys heard, we're going to be budget versus really not budget at all.
Not budget at all.
Well, I'm playing against the Jund deck. Basically, my deck total is like $100. Maybe
oh, really?
$120.
All right, yeah, it's pretty
and yours is in the thousands.
Oh, it is.
Put that in paper.
Over $2,000. I would know this because I'm trying to put this deck together right now.
Yeah.
And Tarmogoyfs used to be about $90 each. If we were around to about a year ago, I could get the rest of this whole deck.
Yeah.
For under like $1,500. Now that Tarmogoyfs are $200 each. That's not the case.
No.
We need another reprint already.
That would be the case.
Yeah.
But, you know, I figured what's the best thing to see is someone playing, you know, and basically non-budget deck versus actually a budget deck and see if it's actually comparable.
Yeah, that's fair. If you want to like test the Elves deck, I think this is the deck to test it versus right now.
This is the premier deck, basically.
Yeah, I think it's actually Junk is probably the best deck right now, which is why I actually don't mind just having the second Golgari Charm on my sideboard, because it's like so good in the matchup.
It is.
It kills Confidant, which you've got anyway, kills Courser, which again they're going to be playing, and it also kills Lingering Souls tokens, and Souls is really the only reason that Junk is favored versus John. Like, Souls is just such a beating in the matchup, so...
It is.
It's going to be really good. The card went from my favorite standard sideboard card to possibly my favorite modern sideboard card. And it's already my favorite legacy sideboard card, so... I love Golgari Charm so much.
Is. And I do have stuff to give away starting, not today, but probably next week. I've got 2 months of free Star City Premium sitting in my hand right now.
Okay.
I've been snatching it up, so...
Where'd you get that?
Oh, Star City event.
Oh yeah, you went to one, didn't you?
Yeah,
that's sweet.
I snatched up from a few other people.
No.
So. But yeah.
How do I save back?
So I think honestly it should be a lot of fun. So
Mm-hmm.
we should probably just get back into talking about the deck since it is deck tech time.
Yes.
So let's go to what mine will look like. So mine is very wonky, but it works because it's blue-green elves. I have 4
Do you have a
summoners.
list I can look at?
Not off the top of my head.
You don't have one written down? Oh,
No.
okay. I'll watch then.
I got 4 summoners packs, which is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It basically lets me get into Crater Hoof if I want to get into Crater Hoof, or an Imperious Perfect if I'm going off with my deck. This is a combo deck, guys, so you got to remember. 4 Becking Calls. You use Beck basically to draw cards.
Yeah, it's what's that one called? Glimpse of Nature.
Yeah.
But it needs blue mana, so
Yeah. So
still really good.
Yep. So 2 1 green, 1 blue, and I get to draw cards for every creature that enters the battlefield, which is pretty awesome. So let's talk about
Ooh.
mana base.
This is really interesting because okay, I just want to say something about Beck really quick. So Glimpse of Nature is whenever you cast a creature spell, you draw a card. This is different. So if it gets countered, it's worse, but counter spells aren't as big in this format. Like, generally, you're only sad if your Beck gets countered. But what's really cool is you don't have any Dried Arbors in this list. Okay, never mind. You should have Dried Arbors in this list.
Yeah.
Because then when you play your land, you get a draw card.
Eh.
All right. I thought of something sweet, and you're not doing it.
I'll probably end up changing. Like I say, this
Yeah.
is constantly evolving. Because if you notice, I don't run any fetch lands or anything like that.
Well, you should.
I probably will end up doing
Yeah,
that, but
because I think the Dried Arbor fetch land kind of like combo with Beck is just so insane.
But what I have is I have 4 breeding pools.
Mm-hmm.
I just went to the bottom one, so I have 5 forest total. I have 3 hinterland harbors, 2 islands, and 4 Yavimaya coast.
This is a deck that would really benefit from, like, you know, the lands from Mirrodin?
Yeah.
Where it's like Seachrome Coast and all those?
Yep.
Man, this deck wants those so bad.
Yep.
Like a blue-green one. Ugh.
Yep. So then we go into my 1-drops, which there is plenty. We have 4 Elvish Mystics, 4 Heritage Druids, because Heritage Druid is just awesome with this deck. 4 Jordish Tree Speakers, which I'll tell you what, this card is probably like the best card in my deck.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Draugr Tree Speakers just you see it and you undervalue it right away, and then you play with it and you're like, oh my god, this card's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know how people beat this.
4 Llanowar Elves, because more mana imp.
Yep.
And then 4 Nettle Sentinels, because yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be playing creatures and you're gonna get
very similar.
damage. Yep.
Similar to the Legacy deck, where it's like, I need to run my just a bajillion elves, so I have critical mass, so that I can combo off of it. Yeah.
Yep.
Same idea.
4 Elvish Visionaries, because the draw card is kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the main combo piece is. It's Intruder Alarm. Basically, creatures don't untap during their controller's untap steps. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, untap all creatures. It goes for you and me. You got to remember.
Right.
So
okay. So
basically, what happens is on turn 3, I drop this.
Mm-hmm.
And if I get lucky enough to have 2 blue and like an Elvish Archdruid already out, turn 3 I go off. Because if I have Beck in hand, you cast Beck then once this hits the field, and then you start putting creatures out.
Yeah.
1-drop creatures, then you make more mana and put more creatures out, make more mana, put more creatures, and you're just drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you're just constantly drawing at that point. And then you either hit a Summoner's Pack or you just hit an Imperious Perfect, which lets you go infinite.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
So in the Legacy deck, Wirewood Symbiote is like the second best card.
Yep.
Just because it protects your elves from removal, and it lets you replay Visionaries and stuff. Like, do you have any kind of way of doing that? You're just kind of looking on it. Sure.
That's something. Unfortunately, with Wirewood Symbiote, it's an amazing card, but Modern's a little bit harder. So we're trying to figure out.
It's not Modern, is it?
No.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, if it's in modern, you're not playing it, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, no, it's not. So
Yeah.
you're trying to you kind of got to figure it out.
Hmm. That's what
So
they need. Reprint symbiote.
yeah. So like I was saying, I can go infinite with Imperious Perfect because it untaps when a creature hits the field if I have intruder alarm. So if you're making infinite mana, you can just keep making infinite elves that, put it onto the battlefield. So you're
And
constantly
then you
tapping.
puff at some point.
So
Because
at that point,
back
you're just
to
gonna you have back, and then basically you just go Crater Hoof.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so I have 4 Elvish Archdruids because they give the 1/1 buff, and they also tap. They're basically your Gaia's Cradle.
What do they do? They tap green for each elf?
Yeah, each elf.
Okay.
And then 1 Crater Hoof.
Guy's Cradle so broken they need to print it on a 3-mana card for it to be balanced.
Yep. And then let's go to the sideboard. The sideboard is a little goofy, and it works pretty well. We have 3 Root Mazes, which artifacts and lands enter the battlefield tapped. This is really just conceding that Affinity's a thing, and I can make Affinity slow down a lot.
So you don't just want Creeping Corrosion?
No, this actually works really
Kill
well. That's
literally everything. Okay.
So, Rapid Vigor, something I'll probably bring in against you. Regenerate each creature you control.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Back to Nature.
Back to Nature is basically saying there's a lot of enchantments that hit the field in Modern, and I just don't want to deal with them. So
what enchantments hose you?
I forget. I hit a matchup where this worked really well.
Okay.
3 Dismembers because I can play it because take 4 damage, 1 mana, and I off whatever you have. Imperious Perfect, 3 more of those. So if I'm really trying to combo off and I need one of those, they're in there.
And the Damping Matrix to go with your perfects.
You got it.
Now, that was sarcasm.
I know.
That's a bad combo.
It is, but Damping Matrix works pretty well.
Yeah, what's it for?
Yeah, it's 3.
No, I mean, like what are you worried about that you're using it?
Ravager is a biggie.
So you just have like a bunch of hate for Affinity. That's your sideboard right now?
That's like my worst combo. That's like my worst matchup.
So you just can't beat Affinity?
Yeah.
Pat, I want to play Affinity.
You're not playing Affinity.
I actually don't want to play Affinity.
All right, so that's the deck. It's a lot of fun. Like you said, it's constantly evolving right now.
It's also super budget, so
yeah,
maybe I'll build that at some point too.
All right, so let's go to you.
All right. So apparently Slaughter Pact is cheaper than a land. This is not true. They're both 0 mana. And this is really 3 mana, so I'm going to put it there. So yeah, this is pretty much standard Jund. Well, standard modern Jund. The main difference here is I'm poor, and therefore don't want to get all the insane lands. So I'm playing all the fetches. Like the 7 fetches are usually 4 Catacombs, 2 Marsh Flats, and a Misty. I'm going to play all those. I've got most of these by now. I need like 2 Catacombs and a Misty. So I got most of it at this point. 4 Black Cliffs, excuse me, just because look at all these 1 mana cards. What colors are they? They're red and black. That's it. So the only cards I'm casting on turn 1 are cards that I could cast to the Black Cliffs. So I really want 4 of these. They're just fantastic. Probably the best land in the deck. I don't know what would be better. 2 of each Shockland, and this is kind of where the budget comes in. I've got all the Shocklands, so I'm using them. Generally, like you'd be running 2 Overgrown Tombs and 1 of each of the others, and be running like I don't know some other expensive land. Like you'd have the Black-Green Filter.
Yep,
is usually a land that's run, or the red-green one that taps Grove of the Burn Willows is the other one that usually you see as a 1 of in these lists, but I'm not doing that because those are expensive cards and I don't think they're that necessary. They're pretty good. I would definitely play them if I had them. We've also got 3 Raging Ravines. I want to cut one of these forests and maybe even run 1 Treetop Village. It's a thought because the more manlands you have in this deck, really the better. I think 4 is probably like the perfect number. Problem is I don't want all that many Raging Ravines. That card specifically, it tests for 2 mana. but it costs a lot to activate. Like 4 minutes to activate is a lot, and sometimes you just want an extra attacker while you can still, decay their guy or play a courser or something that turn as well. So Rage Ravine can kind of be clunky. It's really good in the late game. When you're kind of just top decking, I think it's like probably the best man lane. Yeah, the blue one's better. Celestial Colonnade is just insane. So it's less like the second best one, which is still saying quite a bit. So a very good card, attacking for 4 whenever you just pay 4 mana and tap it. So very powerful. That's the mana base. Generally with these decks, you have 3 parts. You have the Disruption, or the discard in this case, which we have 7. 4 Thoughtseize, 3 Inquisition. It might be better to switch these numbers. I'm not entirely sure. I think for this deck, for sure, I just want the Inquisitions. The only thing that I can Thoughtseize, but not Inquisition, is Crater Hoof. So you definitely want Inquisition in this matchup, but as an overall, I think Thoughtseize is still just really good. 4 bolts, kind of the point of playing the red. The only other red card in the main board is actually Chandra. So the rest is just like a black-green kind of rock deck. We have the obvious creatures being 4 Confidence. I'm going 3 Scavenging Oozes here. I really like the card. It's just really good. 4 Goyce. Yeah, and then the removal, 3 courses as well. A lot of people play 2. I was thinking maybe 2 and an Olivia. I think that's pretty sweet. Olivia's a sweet card.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
She's been seeing a lot of play in Modern too. Yep. Specifically in the Jund decks. Like versus a deck like yours, Olivia will come out and just kill everything.
Yep.
I pay 2 mana to kill a guy. That's really good. Yep. Or what I really want to do is you Crater Hoof and then I just steal it. I think that'd be really funny. You can't attack with it. You still kill me with your elves because you have like 20 trillion out right now, but you don't get to attack the Crater Hoof. So yeah, there's that, and then just the removable part of this, the Planeswalkers. We'll talk about that first. 3 Lilies. This is kind of a concession to budgets, but at the same time, I think 4 Lilianas is just a lot, and I've found that in the test games I've been playing, 3 is enough in almost every situation. There's a couple matchups where I want the 4th, just because they can kill your Lily, and she is simply the best card, but they're pretty few and far between. Like, you're not playing Storm very often.
No.
It's not common. I think versus Control, like the blue-red deck, Chandra's actually better. Just drawing an extra card is better than both of us discarding. So, it's your choice. Really depends on your metagame. Like, if your metagame's really aggressive, I don't want any Lilianas. Like, she's just terrible against aggressive decks. If your metagame is like all Tron and Control, then yeah, you probably want 4 of these. Just pick whatever it is.
Yeah.
And we've got more removal. Abrupt Decay, Slaughter Pact, Maelstrom Pulse, all the good stuff. 1 Dismember. I just like this card. I don't know if it's actually better. Maybe this is just supposed to be... Oh, I know what it is. Terminate. There's no Terminates. I'm missing a Terminate. Okay.
You never sent it to me.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, so maybe this should just be a Terminate, like the other Terminate that should be in here. But it's not. So I'm actually going to switch in the Abrupt Decay for the Terminate. And leave the Thoughtseize in the sideboard. Speaking of the sideboard, let's take a look at that. It's pretty straightforward, really. It's just a lot more disruption for certain decks. So Anger of the Gods is going to be sweet here versus any kind of creature deck. Or, stuff like, I guess the Golgari Charms are pretty sweet. Or, whatever. Maybe even Rakdos Charm, just because he's trying to flood. We also have a couple of hate cards for Affinity, being Ancient Grudge, very good versus Affinity. I think, what was the other card? Is it Jund Charm that's really good here?
Yep.
Yeah, it's Jund Charm. Jund Charm is actually deceptively good against Affinity. A lot of their stuff is 2 toughness or less. So there's always the chance that they're just like, okay, I have Ravager. All right, Jund Charm. Okay, everything goes on to the Ravager. Well, all right then. and you can't win anymore. So that kind of sucks, but I think for the most part, Jund Charm is pretty sweet there.
Mm-hmm.
Throne is going to be good in the grindier matchups, and Batterskull is going to be good when I need to gain life. It's not very good here.
No.
No, not really what I want. Yeah, that's the deck. Should be good times. I mean, this is essentially what I'll be playing at the PTQ, except cut this Abrupt Decay, add Terminate.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I like it. I think it should be
sweet.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's basically going to be, can I go off before you kill me?
Yeah, it's do I have the disruption I need? Like, did I draw 2 discard spells plus a lightning bolt? I think if I do, with like a Tarmogoyf or something, I don't know if you can win.
No.
It's gonna be real hard.
Yeah, it's gonna be impossible.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. So do I need to save this, or is it already saved?
It says Jund in your modern, so
Okay.
I assume we are good.
I just don't want to. Yeah.
Let me just cut to the scene while you go over what's the plan.
All right.